Oh, missed one. But see, networking is a creative process. Networking, we are creating ways to serve and help people progress. Now, there's a big difference between progress and change. Have you ever met someone who would have delivered a better first impression on you if you'd never met them? Somebody, when you met them, you're like, that's somebody that I don't wish to see ever again. Have you? You don't have to. It's all rhetorical. Everything I say is rhetorical. Don't expect any response. No, but when I talk about progress, it's that, are they going to alter their life to include us? Are they going to start investing time in building a relationship with us? But see, all progress is change, but not all change is progress. All progress is change, but not all change is progress. What is your name, sir? Juan? That's an easy one. Thank you. Let's say I have an upset stomach. My tummy hurts. Oh, I need change. This has got to change. Oh, my stomach hurts. I need change. And Juan hears me. He wants to help me out. He hops up here on stage and he punches me in the nose. Is that change? It's change, but it's not progress. At least not to me. Maybe to Juan, maybe to you guys. Let me say it another way. Those of you in this room who are single, or if you plan on being single. I don't know your plan. That's a different PowerPoint presentation, by the way. We're not doing that presentation. But have you ever said to yourself, oh, I need to meet somebody new, and then you met somebody new, and you're like, oh, no, not that person new. You walk into a room full of opportunity, and you're like, that's change. That's change. Hey, that's progress. See, it's all in how we view it in our minds. But that also goes for not only our minds, but the other person that we're connecting with mind. It's very easy for me to meet somebody and say, man, that person rocks. I want to build a relationship with them. The more challenging thing is to get that person to say, wow, Dean rocks. I want to build a relationship with him. Do we want to be in relationships with movers and shakers? Do we want to be in relationships with successful people? I'm going to answer it C, yes. Well, guess what they are doing? They are moving and shaking. So they have got to, if they're already moving, they're making stuff happen. If they have got to see us as somebody that's going to add to the equation they're already rocking and rolling with. Successful people want to be in relationships with successful people. And success doesn't necessarily mean your CV. It means the attitude, the aura that you bring to the event. So I'm hoping with this presentation that I get to give, and I can't, 2.5-hour presentation, that's really great for this topic. It's important. I'm just teasing. It's really, I shouldn't say it's not vital, because you can come to this event. It is only an option. You can come to this event. You can sit and you can watch the presenters. You can sit with all your friends at all the meals and buddy up and be very comfortable. Or you can step out of that comfort zone and connect with somebody that you've never connected with before that could lead to who knows what. I call it priceless business relationships. But see, it's very natural to resist what we view as change, but we embrace what we view as progress. So when we are connecting with someone, it is vital that they view us as progress. So let me dig into that a little bit more. So you, me, our products and services, our sales style, our working environment, our customer service initiatives, all must be positioned as progress in the minds of those that we wish to propel into positive action. Now, what are positive actions? Well, they're the actions that we want others to take, right? We want them to call us. We want them to listen to us. We want them to buy from us. We want them to partner with us. We want them to think about us. That we want them to give us, football tickets, right, to their suite, right? All these different things. These are things that they could choose to do. Just because they know we want them to doesn't mean they're going to do it. Now, I want to make a caveat, and I'm not sure that it was introduced. Every one of my slides is going to be published in Ekos, right? And that's another thing. And when I found that out, I decided I was going for it. So there's a lot of slides but if we don't cover everything exactly, you're going to get it all in Ekos, right? Which is cool. So that's why I did that. Okay. I think it's cool. If that means it's cool. So, but I say positive action. What I really am also talking about are these two, when you step out as a speaker, when you call yourself a speaker, and I've been speaking 45 years, but only professionally for 15. You guys do not want to give it up. Now, that was fun. But when I first stepped out as a speaker, when you first step out and say you're a speaker, there's this one word that people want to plop in front of it, and that word is motivational. A motivational speaker. And at first I used to really resist being labeled a motivational speaker. Because when I thought about a motivational speaker, I thought of somebody who was a little plastic and they wouldn't even need the stage. They just kind of hover above, and they tell you their rags to riches story. And then they'd have you turn to a neighbor and share some deep secret. And then we'd all get back together and do a cleansing breath. And I'd end the program with namaste. That's a yoga term. But then I had to dig in further into the concept of motivation. Because really, when you are here, you have the opportunity to be motivational. Now, what are we motivating people to do? To want to be around us, to want to reconnect with us, to reconnect with us. A lot of times we think that because we meet somebody, that all of a sudden we're buddies with them and they're going to go out of their way to do stuff for us. No. And the way I have it positioned and the way I share it, it takes a series of what I call progress-based impressions to go from met to net. A series of progress-based impressions. Not just impressions, right? Me calling Dan on the phone and saying, hey, you want to buy my stuff? That's an impression. It's not a progress-based impression, but it's an impression. Right? It's got to be a progress-based impression. But I got further into the concept of motivation, and I basically got down to this. Motivation can be broken up into two parts. Basically, motivation is a motive for action. A motive for action. What's another word for motive? Reason, desired outcome, purpose, drivers. What's another word for action? Buy, sign up, read our proposal, call us back. Have you ever called somebody on the phone and they didn't answer, so you left a message, and in that message you said, call me back, and they didn't call you back? What? What's up with that? You said, call me back. Well, see, that's the difference between progress and change. They know what you want them to do, but that doesn't mean that they want to do it. So we all have the opportunity. I shouldn't say I have the opportunity. We all are motivational. And we can put that on a seesaw. Motivation. Motive, action. If people have enough motives to do something, they'll do it. If they don't have enough motives to do something, they won't. That's how we roll. And when we are here, we have the opportunity not only to make a great first impression, but also learn about people. Have you ever heard of the concept of market research? Market research? Well, when you're networking, you're doing individual market research. You're doing individual market research on what this person is about, what they like, their interests. Because if I find out that a person that I want to reconnect with is really big into gardening, because people are into gardening, I might find an article on gardening and I shoot them an article on gardening. Is that another progress-based impression? If they like gardening. Now, if I send somebody that doesn't like gardening an article on gardening, that's not a progress-based impression. So we've heard that before. We've grown up knowing that we need to get to know people. But the reason is because the more we understand and get to know them, the more we can be progress for them. The more we can add to their lives, which leads to business. And I'm actually going to cover not all, but 10 of the top benefits of actually networking with people. But I talked about change versus progress. And I talked about motivation. And I had to dig further and further into the concept of motivation. And I got down to this. Everything we do, when I say we, I mean the big, huge collective we. Everybody in this room, everybody who's texting you while you are in this room, everybody who is messaging you and sending you LinkedIn messagings and liking your stuff and sharing your stuff, and everybody that wants to partner with you, your parents, your kids, everybody. Everything we do, consciously or subconsciously, we do because we believe the perceived consequences of those actions are that we're going to feel a unique mixture of what I've labeled the 6 P's of progress. And it connects directly with a quote from Shakespeare. Strong reasons make strong actions. Do we want people to take strong actions? The answer is yes again. Yes. What are strong actions we want them to take? Well, the ultimate one is we want them to take money out of their pocket and put it into ours, right? We want to make money. But see, do you realize that for somebody to do that, they have to think that your stuff is worth more than their money? Do you know how much your money's worth, right? Everybody knows how much their money's worth. So that means you have to prove and share that your stuff is worth more to them than their money. That's not an easy task. Strong reasons make strong actions. So I got down to what I call the 6 P's of progress, the 6 feelings, the 6 emotions that everybody is working towards. When I say everybody, I mean everybody individually, everybody within a business, everybody. Everything we do, I'll say it again, everything we do, consciously or subconsciously, we do because we believe the perceived consequences. Now, perceived consequences means, like, have you ever done something, and then after you did it, you said, why'd I do that? It's because when you did it, you perceived the consequences were going to be one way, and then you got the real consequences, and you went, oh, I was wrong. That's not what happened. Well, let me say it another way. Have you ever had a client and then lost the client to a competitor? And only 6 months later for that client to come back to you? Well, what happened there was they thought they could get more progress over here, and then they found out that it was not more progress, it was actually change, and then they came back. Have you ever gotten business from somebody that you didn't even know that didn't necessarily choose you because you were so great? They chose you because they just didn't like the person they were using before. Right? So it's not that you rocked, it's just that the other person sucked. Right? Okay, so here's the 6 P's. Everything we do, consciously or subconsciously, comes down to a mixture of these 6 P's. Peace of mind, pleasure, profit, prestige, pain, avoidance, and power. Pleasure, peace of mind, profit, prestige, pain, avoidance, and power. And that goes for very simple stuff. A lot of times when I was doing the research on cracking the networking code, which is what this material is built on, people would talk about how important it is to smile. Have you ever heard that it was good to smile? Don't write that down. Do not write down smile. I'm going to start smiling. That's a great tip. Don't write that down. Now, we've all been told it was good to smile, but there's a reason behind it. The reason it's good behind it is because how do you feel when somebody smiles at you? You feel good. I mean, I'm not talking about like euphoria, but it gives you that a little bit of pleasure, right? Now you have to build on that. It's not like you can go, hey, I smiled at him. I don't know why we're not buddies. You have to build on that, but everything has a reason. There's a reason behind everything. So the 6 P's of progress play for pretty much for everything. Peace of mind, pleasure, profit, prestige, pain avoidance, and power. And I don't know if anybody in this room is in insurance, but insurance, people don't want insurance. Nobody wants insurance. What do they want? They want peace of mind and pain avoidance. That's the goal. The goal's not insurance. The goal's the benefits of that insurance. And it's the same thing with the relationship. The relationship, it has to, in their minds, lead them to believe that they're going to get closer to these 6 P's of progress. And especially when I'm talking about personal profit, not just professional. But network